Alright, trade recap, and this time it's accurate, like literally few seconds, like barely a minute after I closed my position. So it's very fresh, and yeah, I know it still has to go a few pips, but I closed it here already. Yeah, I know. Blame me anyways. Now, overall, I was only taking one trade on EURUSD, so to overall today I was taking 3 trades, and I can actually cover this up. So let me just begin. The first trade, I was going long from here. I opened my long from here, and then out of nowhere, like literally 1 second, like that, boom! It's nuked to the downside like that, and I was like, holy shit! Like with that move, I already rinsed my whole profits overall. And I actually, when it was going a bit up, I re-entered with a smaller lot size, and then keep going to the downside. And I was like, okay, yeah, it might be wise to close it just to stay safe and see for the price action movements. But then I was re-entering with a bigger lot size because I was expecting it to go higher. And now I can tell you why. So let's go to my setup. Now, on the daily, as you can remember from last time, I said that it was about to retrace after the breakout in this channel. Like overall, from this, leg up, like in this uptrend, the retracements overall, like higher highs and higher lows, it's nothing new. So we saw a retracement, and now I wanted this to see to go back up again, like it was yesterday going to the upside. Now let's scale actually down to the 1 hour because on the 4 hour we have nothing really interesting to see. On the 1 hour, we see yesterday we had a candle closure dude, above a swing high. Now, as I mentioned, technically this was already, the closure above this swing high, but I don't think this is as clean and beautiful, so I'm going to be pretty careful and not let it count as a, swing high. So we had here a swing high created and also closure above it, so we can pretty safe to say that at least this is going to be a market structure shift. So we are back in the uptrend, a reversal. So we want the price to see go higher and higher. And we also see that, during the whole Asia session, it was going to the downside, which is pretty much looks like a retracement. And also what adds to it is that we have here a beautiful fair value gap and also a small resistance which becomes here the support zone, if you get me. But what more makes me kind of make comfortable with that bias, or like with this, yeah, well, with that bias is, this fair value gap and also this market structure shift. So we want to go long while it's going to the downside. Now we only have to find out when it wants to go higher. Because now here in the 50 minutes, we also have here a fair value gap, which was going perfectly inside of it, like a bit below than, the 50% of this fair value gap. And then it was going higher, and then it was a bit bouncing to the downside. But overall, as long as this fair value gap doesn't get disrespected, I expect for price to go higher. And yeah, this was a bit early, to be honest. I also woke up pretty late today, but I'm fixing that, so don't worry. Don't worry. But anyways, I was taking this trade, got then pretty much, like shocked by this extreme move to the downside, like literally from here, 1 second later down here. So I was a bit shocked, yeah, sure. But again, like all those things in the higher time frame and even on the 50 minutes was giving me confirmation that price wants to go higher. And if my setup gets invalidated, I would be cool with that. Yeah, it would be a bit frustrating because of this move, but overall I would be cool with that. But still, I was kind of expecting or like waiting for it to go higher. So I was entering off here, very clean if you ask me. And yeah, I was holding it from now on. Actually, funny enough, I was actually about to close my position right here where this little fair value gap got disrespected, but then I was like, you know what, fuck the emotions, I'm going to hold that. And then I was going to the downside, and yeah, I was getting to the danger zone. But the thing is, first of all, I was like, fuck the emotions, I'm done with that. And the second thing is, for me, it looked like an AMD setup. And as you can see, it actually was an AMD setup. So overall, we have like beautiful, perfect confluence overall. Very nice to see, to be honest. Very nice confluence here. Accumulation, manipulation, and also the distribution. And by the way, by this little move, by this manipulation, whatever, I actually lost all my profits from all the training days. I was actually a bit in the negatives. So with that, I'm not only break even, I'm actually up way more than, well, if I wouldn't have lost my profits from the past days, then of course it would have been more. But still, overall, let me tell you, I can tell you how many percents I'm up. Pretty funny when you think about it. I literally lost all my profits today at the beginning. I can tell you, I'm in the okay, 3.7% we are up. 37% from the profit target. So yeah, without this loss, it would have been a bit more. I think maybe 45%. But it's not like that I'm like super upset or something like that. Now, the dashboard or the daily summary or like just a calendar has to update, but I can actually show you at least the P&L calendar from September. Now, this has to update because now we are up, I think, like overall 600 and something. Should be. Yeah, it will update. Maybe it will show during the video. Okay, nah, I doubt it. But what I can show you is this, the biggest win and the biggest losses, which are, by the way, both from today, because before that I wasn't risking that crazy much, but this aggressive candle, movement, I was really not expecting it. So you can see from today, the biggest loss was this, actually a bit more, because I also had like another position up, like, I opened two positions. So this is like only the biggest loss from this one position. So overall was like more the loss. But this one trade, the biggest win, as you can see, $920. And yeah, very nice to see. And liquidity swept, now it's going to the downside because we also have here some resistance going on. But yeah, at least I wanted to see this move to the upside because this is reasonable, if you get me. Because I was like, where I was kind of panicking, I was like, still, okay, we have no confirmation for a shift. We are still on an uptrend. We have confirmation on the high time frames that wants to go higher. So just let it play out. So yeah, with that being said, overall today was a very interesting trading day. And what is very refreshing for me compared to the previous days is that today it was only 3 trades. The first trade, the adding to the lot size, and this trade alone. So way better than the previous days because it was always like 6, 8, 12 trades because I was kind of getting too emotional or trying to force a trade or whatever, and then I was like doing stupid re-enters and stuff like that. But here I was able, overall at least, to follow my rules, or at least, or let's say it differently, to not completely freak out and still get my shit together. So we could increase it to 3 trades today with the little silly mistake at the beginning. Like, okay, mistake, just like waiting literally 1 minute because I was really not expecting this aggressive move to the downside. But yeah, this is the trade recap so far. And with that being said, cheers.